welcome to another RMSO podcast. This is our driving roundtable. We're entering Ogden Canyon in Utah. We're going to visit a spot where there was a recent Bigfoot sighting about 6 months ago. Happened 6 months ago, but we just heard about it last week. So we're going to drive to that, and then we're going to go past a couple other Bigfoot sighting locations that happened in this canyon. Up over Trapper's Loop where there's another Bigfoot sighting, and then we're heading to Lost Creek to actually hike around a sighting location up there. There should be snow at Lost Creek, so it's a perfect opportunity to look for footprints.
There was actually a sighting of a Bigfoot running down this street in the rain, wasn't there?
Yeah, 2011 January when it was raining.
Guy in a coat.
Yeah, 2 in the morning. He said he was walking down the yellow line in the rain, like on a Wednesday, 2 a.m. And he had to actually slow down and go around it. He kept on thinking, what is that guy doing in a fur coat in a rainstorm? And then got up close and realized it was much too big to be a person and wasn't a fur coat.
Let's put it into the correct context. You're in Utah, so I guarantee the guy looked at him and said, "Look at this jackass." It's the truth, man. Sorry, kids.
There's also a home in Wheeler Canyon where there was 2 Bigfoot sightings at the same home over a 6-month period.
Early 80s.
Yep.
Same time I had my sighting.
The first Bigfoot sighting was by the woman that lived there, and the Bigfoot was looking in 12 inch by 12 inch picture type window. And the first cop that showed up to investigate was a quiet, tall cop. He was like 6'6", and he could not look in the window from the ground. And he realized that whatever it was had to have been at least 7 feet tall to put its face and look in the window. Yeah, the woman moved out. Did not want to be there, and of course the guy she was living with there, he didn't believe it and just was like, what the hell, and he kind of teased her and stayed there. And about 6 months later, his dog was freaking out, woke him up early in the morning, and he come out onto the back porch to see what his dog was freaking out on, and there was a Bigfoot standing in their backyard. And it was at that point in time that he realized exactly what his woman had saw 6 months earlier. That all went down in this canyon. The Wheeler Canyon is just a side canyon to this, and it's not very far into that side canyon.
Oh no, it's right there at the mouth of it. Pretty much.
It's right as you're leaving the mouth of the canyon by Pineview. Now we're coming up on the Oaks here soon. The latest Bigfoot sighting we had was in the parking lot of the Oaks. The first guy's first time in Utah. His girlfriend's from Utah, and they come here to visit her parents. And her dad took him to lunch up at the Oaks. He got out of the car and saw a Bigfoot standing up on the hillside above the Oaks, and he just thought it was a prop that the Oaks had put up there. And so he's standing there staring at it, and it finally turned and walked off with a limp. And he gave us size estimates. We're going to put this on our blog, his story. But he gave the size estimate between 7 and 8 feet tall. Now that's the reason we're going to Lost Creek this way, is so we can go past the Oaks and check it out. My uncle has some camping property in this canyon, my Uncle Breon. He told me I could come camp on it anytime I want, but I can't remember exactly where it sits. I was a little kid last time I was here at his property. I have to see if anyone in my family, or ask him.
Here's the Oaks.
I don't know exactly part of the parking lot they parked in.
Now this is probably the main.
Let's see, where would he have a clear look at the
I would have thought
hillside?
he would have had to have seen it up on this north hillside, the south-facing hillside, because you're talking. There's almost nowhere on the right-hand side. It is so thick. Unless it was lower.
It was a pretty close sighting. He estimates it was 30 to 40 yards from where he was standing looking at it.
Well,
so
then,
this side's closer, actually.
If he was in the parking lot, I mean, it could have been up around here. So it could have been, who knows? Guess we could have got a little bit better description. But if he parked over here, you got a wide-eyed view of this whole side here. But God, that's just thick and rugged.
Well, I'm gonna park where someone would have the best view of the hillside. I mean, look. I mean, right here it is.
Yeah, but you're looking at
50 yards.
50 yards at least.
And he's telling us 6 months later, saying 30 to 40. In his mind, he got a really good look. He's saying it was close.
And keep in mind that we're also here in January or February.
This
guy was here in the middle
June
of some
6th.
June 6th?
June 6th, 2017 is when this took place. All right, well, I'm going to get out of the car for a minute. I want to take some photos. We took a few photos of the Oaks we'll put into this.
Even though it's the actual road is really busy because this is the only way to get up and down this canyon, nobody is in the mountains on either side. It's too steep.
Oh yeah, it's rugged. It's rough.
Yeah, nobody just heads up the side of the hill in this canyon.
But there are some Indian trails that do it.
There's trailheads on the mouth of both sides of the canyon that get used, but the central part of this canyon, a lot of this is cliffs and straight up stuff.
Rugged stuff you do not want to be going up and down.
Yeah, I know of about 5 Bigfoot sightings in this canyon that have been reported. And who knows how many haven't been reported.
Even though it appears to be busy right here, both to the right and left is really wilderness. Nobody's really up in there.
Well, I go to mountain places that are 1,000 times more busy than this. In Colorado, in Lake Tahoe area, for instance. And there's Bigfoot activities in those places, and the 100 times more people. You know, 3 million people visit Lake Tahoe area a year.
I think that's a conservative number.
Yeah. It's the same as what visits Yellowstone. About 3 million visitors a year. That's just the people visiting. There's a ton of people that already live there too.
We're coming up to this Wheeler Canyon that we talked about just a little while ago. Just up here on the right, this is the mouth of that Wheeler Canyon. 3
Bigfoot sightings here. One of them, the Bigfoot walking in the road, and then the 2 Bigfoot sightings down at the
actually have one crossing the road right here as well. To the right, if you go down, there's actually a few houses that are down there. You can see them. It's one of them houses down there is where that window peeking happened.
Now this is all in our backyard. We've spent all of our lives around this area. We're basically from the fringes of the Ogden area, and Now we're coming out to Pineview, and Pineview's in Eden, right?
It's Huntsville.
Huntsville? Okay.
Yeah, Huntsville, Eden, and then Liberty. There's actually a Wolf something or other? Little teeny tiny town that's in the far right as well.
Yep, and you got the ski resort, Wolf Mountain. You got Snow Basin. Snow Basin's over the mountain on our right. Snow Basin, the giant slalom 2002 Olympics was held there.
Powder Mountain is just off to our left, up over the mountains that you see in front of you.
Yes, and I have heard of some Bigfoot sightings in that area. Not a written report, just, you know, from living here and hearing through the grapevine that there's been some Bigfoot sightings up by Powder Mountain.
And then straight up ahead where you can see the other canyon is Monte Cristo.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Across the lake on top of those mountains over there is Monte Cristo.
And Ant Flats, and I mean, this whole place is just thick with everything. Good place.
I guess to put it into context, all that Ant Flats, Monte Cristo, and all that the north left of us, is that funny? To the north of us over here connects up with, you know, Hardware Ranch, which you'll see in Finding Bigfoot. Right?
Right. Yep.
The family that was that's close enough. The family that recorded the 3 Bigfoots up on the hillside, the snow, they were out sledding. That happened basically directly in front of us.
The direction we're going to be going.
The direction that we are going. In fact, we'll pass even closer to where that happened.
Didn't that happen in Mountain Green?
Happened in Mountain Green, just on the northeast side of Mountain Green.
I lived in Mountain Green when I was little.
Yeah, we're driving up over Trapper's Loop, and driving over Trapper's Loop, the reason we're taking this drive is because the sighting report in the area that we got just before the one at the Oaks was a truck driver driving up over Trapper's Loop. He saw it from the cab of his truck. I guess for his driving job, he drives Trapper's Loop all the time, and he thinks what he saw was big, and he thinks it was Bigfoot, a large one. His sighting report's on our blog. I've already posted that one. Yeah, when I was a kid, there wasn't all these homes and condos and stuff here.
Trapper's Loop was a dirt road.
You had Anderson Cove here, the campgrounds was here, but not all the condos and everything
Definitely
else.
wasn't as nice as it is when I was a kid.
There was a few houses, some of these older ones, that were actually here, but there was very few.
Yeah, there was just a couple of farmhouses, and then it was like they owned, you know, dozens of acres apiece. Farmers pass away, and kids inherit the property, and they don't want to be farmers or ranchers like their parents, so they get sold off to developers. And this is a wonderful place to develop. They say this will probably be the next Park City, where we're at now.
I think the area is every bit as pretty as Park City.
Oh, it is. I think it's pretty.
I think it has better weather and everything.
I would tend to agree with you there, Jen.
It's more open than Park City and Deer Valley, I think.
Yeah, now it is.
It feels more open.
Yeah, and would have been a lot less of an impact as Park City is on the environment. As Park City, where they built that whole thing, was that was migration path territory for a lot of deer. Help put a big city right in the middle of it all.
Yep, there's Snow Basin out there in front of you. All that
directly in
snow,
front of us.
all that snow's pretty much snow basin. I used to ski there a lot.
Yep.
I was an avid skier back in the day until I got to about my mid-30s, and then I think I wore it out. I skied so much.
That's about the time it got really expensive around here too.
Yep.
Yeah, once the Olympics came through,
Couldn't afford
It-
to ski anymore.
yeah, this place became so popular and just jacked up all the rates.
When we were growing up as kids, this road didn't exist. You only had a back way in from further down to get up to Snow Basin. This used to be a four-wheel drive dirt road. They used to take your four-wheel drive to go play and have a good time on.
Right. Yep. They changed all of this for the Olympics.
Wheeler Canyon actually leads up to the bottom of Snow Basin.
Yeah, there's a trail that you can hike back and forth between Snow Basin and Wheeler Canyon. Well, you've hiked on it, Jenny, and I've hiked on it too.
Yep. In fact, our very first drone, well, one of our first drone videos we put out, it was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very first drone
was in the
video.
middle of Wheeler Canyon when I put that drone up.
Yeah, go look for our Wheeler Canyon drone footage on our YouTube. My brother and his wife, my brother Shay and Allison, they snowshoe and cross-country ski between Wheeler Canyon and Snow Basin every winter. And of course, he's keeping his eye open for Bigfoot up there for us. Yeah, Allison snowshoes and he cross-country skis. I don't know if this camera can pick it up, but on one of those mountain peaks, there's 3 towers.
That's one of the very tallest peaks.
And from where we all live on the other side of this mountain, we can see these towers. We can see this exact same peak. So when we talk about this Bigfoot sighting hotspot in our backyards, we're not kidding you. I mean, we see Snow Basin Peak from our backyard. I call it Snow Basin Peak. I don't know what the actual name of the peak is. I'm sorry, I'm from here, I should know. But that's pretty much Snow Basin Mountain right there.
Yeah, we just lived directly on the other side.
Yeah,
We just drove around the mountain.
yeah, I see that peak from where we live, and I also see it from where I work. Yes, I do have a real job. This is all of our part-time job, Bigfooting.
It's called Mount Ogden Peak.
Okay.
Yeah, we decided to hike that last year. That was super fun.
Yeah, Jenny and I did a 9-mile hike at Snow Basin, and we hiked to the base of that peak, and that beat us up. And the week before, we were at Lake Tahoe.
Here, let me just throw this out while we got a good view of it. We're going to turn you a little bit. If you look off in that direction, see all the roly-poly hills and stuff? That sledding family, it happened right down in this.
Aha.
Oh yeah, that is. It's right down there.
It's literally
That's
right
right.
down in there where they were sledding, and they caught the 3 Bigfoots on video.
There's a lot of Bigfoot enthusiasts that put that in their top 10 Bigfoot videos of all time. And I've seen some people place it up in the top 5. Not my top 5. But it's in my top 10 though. What's a trip is one of those Bigfoot of the 3 filmed in that video had a limp.
It did have a limp.
And then that's that Bigfoot sighting at the Oaks back in June. The guy says when it walked away with a limp. Is that too weird or what?
Might be the same one.
Look how close those 2 sightings. I mean, you guys are riding in the car with us. Look how close that is to the Oaks. maybe it seems like we've driven forever, but for an animal, we've only traveled about 10 miles from the Oaks.
Especially if I cut through the canyon, Weaver Canyon.
I was gonna say it's probably not even that far. But it's pretty rugged. And it looks like we're gonna get wet.
You know, maybe that Bigfoot that has the limp, maybe it'll get spotted more often than the rest because it has a problem. It's not as mobile as it should be.
It's Grandpa.
Or it's just an injury.
Well, absolutely. Could have tangled with the wrong thing.
There's lots of mountain lion and bear up here, and moose.
If you'll notice, if you guys know what video we're talking about that was shot here, they were sledding, and the dad's filming his kids sledding, and he caught it up in the edge of the frame. Well, the first Bigfoot sneaks past up on the hillside from cover to cover, and then the second one had the limp, and then the third one, you know, seemed to be no problem with it. So a lot of people wonder, you know, were the other two kind of watching out for the hurt one? You know, a healthy one goes first, checking everything out, then Gimpy comes along, and then the other one protecting the rear. I don't know, or it's just a coincidence they did it that way. So yeah, the one at the Oaks also had a gimp. Now you hear about these Bigfoot sightings and you say, yeah, right. Well, there's 2 Bigfoot sightings in the area where something similar about the Bigfoot that 2 unrelated people saw. And I'm sorry, it's not, nobody actually saw the film one. Everybody gets to see the film when the people saw it. Like, you know, long after they filmed it, they noticed it in the background. So everybody gets to see the Bigfoot with the gimp on that one.
And just going up over the mountain, now what you're staring at is, I don't know, about another dozen sightings at least.
Coming into Weaver Canyon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Weaver Canyon and just everything that's just happened in this area.
Colville, Morgan,
Peterson, Stoddard.
You also have all the private ranches up there. Haynes Ranch, Thousand Peaks Ranch, where there's been Bigfoot sightings.
Well, the 2 hard scrabbles that we know of.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 in Hardscrabble. That's the Morgan area. And Lost Creek is right in the middle of all this stuff, too.
Good friend Carly lives right in the middle of these houses.
Is this considered Mountain Green where we're at?
It is Mountain Green.
Now we're looking at the Francis Peak area where there's a bunch of Bigfoot sightings, and this area at the base of this mountain and stuff, we have looked and searched for places to hike and look for Bigfoot, where the camera's pointed now, and it's all private property. So
Get this back road in it. Yeah, that works.
so we don't have the ability to go look for Bigfoot over there. There's a little bit of property up at public property up on top of Francis Peak where we can look around.
But like you said, most of it's private.
People have sent in to different Bigfoot groups pictures of Bigfoot footprints in the snow up on top of Francis Peak during snowmobile season and stuff. Guy up there riding motorcycles actually found some in the mud and stuff one year. Coming up on Morgan, to the right side of us, we're on the highway. We're just gonna fly past Morgan because we're not doing an investigation there today, but just wanted to kind of show you guys the area where it happened. It's a storm dumping some moisture over there, it looks like.
Oh yeah.
But Over that way is Hard Scrabble. And Hard Scrabble is below Francis Peak, where there's a lot of evidence and sightings.
East Canyon's that way also.
And just to throw it out, if you go up over top of the mountain, you hit Salt Lake City.
And Park City.
And Park City.
Yep, they're on the other side of that major mountain range, the Wasatch Front. Yeah, 2 Bigfoot sightings in Hard Scrabble of Morgan, separated by 10 years with pretty much the same type of sighting. Both the sightings happened when a person walked into the willows at night while they were out there camping, and come face to face with the Bigfoot in the willows. One of the guys we know personally,
maybe if they still have it up. In fact, this dealership had a Bigfoot advertisement up last time I was through here.
that's right. They also do a commercial where a Bigfoot's spotted by security cam at night in the lot checking out their new vehicles.
Yep.
That's right. So
It happened right there.
that shows you the Bigfoot sightings in the area. When there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings, it becomes pop culture in the community, and pretty soon you start seeing it in the culture of the community, like a local television commercial of Bigfoot here, you know?
And that was Morgan. Make it up. What do we can? I was just gonna say, for all you travelers out there, you do make it up around here to Morgan. There's a little place up here called Taggart. Make sure you stop and have lunch.
Wonderful restaurant. One of my favorite dishes that they have at the Taggart Grill is an artichoke soup. Artichoke and cheese, oh my gosh, it's to die for. You guys stop in there and try their soup and check out their menu.
Got a lot of pastries and stuff like that as well that they sell. An idea, Taggart. This is the off-ramp of Taggart, and if we talk here for about another 5 seconds, there it goes. It's gone. It's pretty much a restaurant, a couple houses, and some fishing.
Yeah, the Weber River's to our right. Very popular place for people to tube and boat.
Fish.
There's actually kayak, raft.
Biggest boat you can get in there is a kayak.
Oh, people raft it.
I know, I'm just saying, they got these little boats.
And there's some outfitters that drop you off and pick you up at certain locations here, and they will rent you the equipment, or if you have your own equipment, you can just bring it along and you just pay for the ride. The Weber River runs down into the valley that we live in, and so does the Ogden River, and they actually join up down in the valley.
Goes right past our house.
Yep.
Yep. And in the early 80s, there was a ton of Bigfoot sightings along the Weber River and along the Ogden River. Yeah, like 1981 and 82, there was, I don't know what it is, maybe a family of Bigfoot decided to try and come down in a valley and make themselves a home or whatnot, but there's just so many documented sightings from those 2 years, and that's That's when Derek's Bigfoot sighting took place.
Yep, mine happened in 81, the summer of 81.
Bunch of giant Bigfoot-shaped footprints when I was a kid down in Hooper.
Never slide.
I may very well have saw the footprint of the same creature that you saw. That was so weird. I didn't believe it was Bigfoot. I was looking at those footprints thinking it was just a huge, huge guy being creepy as walking around barefoot in the middle of nowhere.
Now you gotta cut all that out. And
What do I got cut out?
stop it. Stop the thing.
Almost into Lost Creek. This valley we're in is usually really thick with deer and turkey.
Bald eagles.
Yep, bald eagles and golden eagles. We just saw a bald eagle back there. We'll throw a picture up of it at the end. Makes me wonder, have any of you guys ever seen a eagle take down a turkey?
I can't say I've seen one.
I would assume that that's within their prey range.
Oh, that's a
I
good
do
old
know.
rut.
I do know they go after the rabbits and stuff. Wow,
Told you that was a good old
that
rut.
was a hole. We were back in here last winter, and there was a bald eagle we were taking photos of, and if I can find that photo, I'll put it up at the end. But it's up in a tree, and its face and part of its head's just covered in blood. Just had a mill. We were driving on snow already last time we were up here. Can't believe how much it's melted back.
Might not be a good thing. It means when we get up here further, it might be mud.
Right. What doesn't sound right?
Sounds like okay.
Yeah, we were only here like 2 weeks ago, and this was 6 to 8 inches of snow we were driving on. It seems like we have an early spring.
It's spring-like weather for sure.
There was probably about 50 people out there ice fishing too.
I got somebody out here still going crazy.
back in there.
Just keep this down. And I just popped off that.
There is some ice fishers back in there. Hello.
It's kind of gutsy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of risky to ice fish right now.
I've been a big fan of ice fishing anyway, but
We're gonna hike back into Curtis's spot and take a look around. I do 2-3 laps at the track every night after work, unless I'm giving plasma, and that hiking in the snow in there back got my heart rate up just as much as it does doing 3 laps at the track.
It is so noisy walking through snow. Yeah. Crunch, 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 crunch.
yeah, but that also says you're going to hear anything coming. Usually do anyway.
I want to show them this part. There's the reservoir down over there. Derek and I, growing up, we spent a lot of time camping on the shores of that lake.
Did.
Yeah, back when we were teenagers, you could just pitch a tent right on the shore.
Probably hiked up and down each one of these dang mountains too multiple times. Why? Just because we could. Used to be able to spend the night up here, but you can't now. They close it down at 10 o'clock and you have to leave. It sucks. It's lame. But keeps it the way it is, right?
Things always change. They got camping facilities right below the dam right here. They may open that up to camping again one day. I don't think they'll ever let you pitch a tent on the shoreline again. I don't. I think that's gone away for good.
Big air bubble, huh? Big air bubble underneath. It's probably denser ice is all, but that's what it is.
Alright, we're going to start heading for civilization. We see anything cool, we'll certainly let you know.